I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you going too fucking far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be.
And one of you niggas who have been to the penitentiary before, man, what happened when a motherfucker say somebody ain't right and they goddamn show their paperwork and they is right? What's the penalty for that? Can somebody tell me what is that punishable by?
King Harris just can't catch a break, and this time, the spotlight on him is burning hotter than ever. Forget the Waffle House chaos, the wild car chases, or the courtroom no-shows. This new drama makes all that look like child's play. Allegedly, his own baby mama dropped a tape that the internet instantly labeled as a gay tape, and it set social media on absolute fire. Before anyone could even figure out if it was real, fake, or a setup, the internet was already exploding with reactions.
Tell me, it been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figure if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fold, you ain't seen me break down.
Here's the crazy part. For years, whispers about King's sexuality have been circulating in the background. People online kept saying he looked a little fruity, while others swore his baby was just a cover story to keep rumors quiet. Now with this supposed leak, those same voices got a brand new reason to talk, and they're not holding back. At this point, the truth almost doesn't even matter, because once the internet smells drama, it grabs on tight and refuses to let go. Every meme, every post, every rumor just keeps feeding the fire. And as if the situation wasn't messy enough, Boosie, yes, that Boosie, decided to jump straight into the mix. But instead of clowning King directly, he took aim right at T.I, throwing shots that got everyone's attention. That one bold move flipped the whole story from simple gossip about King's personal life into a full-blown family feud.
So what I'm saying is, they wasn't...
You can talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the fuck I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you.
What started as whispers about a leaked tape turned into a headline-worthy rap saga that's dragging everybody into the mix. Now, it's not just about King anymore. People are dissecting everything from his paternity drama to his street image, his public meltdowns, and even Boosie's old beef with T.I. It's like watching a hip-hop soap opera unfold in real time. The spotlight isn't just hovering over King, it's shining bright on his entire circle, and it's exposing every secret folks thought was buried. Long before this tape ever hit the internet, people were already side-eyeing King's situation with his baby mama, wondering what was really going on behind the scenes. From the second she announced her pregnancy, the internet refused to take it at face value. The first red flag everyone pointed out? Her age. She's older than King, and fans instantly started flooding the comments saying, "Girl, you knew exactly what you were doing." Clips of King proudly holding his baby next to her went viral, but instead of earning sympathy, it just fueled more judgment. That's when the conversation shifted to money. People online started swearing that she only had that baby to lock in the Harris bag. They claimed she saw the fame, the family legacy, and those dollar signs, and decided to secure her spot in the game by getting pregnant. The streets were buzzing and nobody was holding back. Whether it was true or not didn't even matter, because online, rumors moved faster than reality ever could. When the baby finally arrived, instead of quieting the noise, the chatter got 10 times louder. People online started throwing shade, saying the baby didn't even look like King, claiming he was just trying to flex his grown man status for the cameras. But King wasn't having that. He hopped online, fired up, posting side-by-side photos, proudly saying, "Y'all can't tell me this ain't mine." He called the baby his twin and tried to silence the doubters once and for all, but the more he pushed, the less people believed. And that's when things really started spiraling. Here's where the story took a wild twist. This wasn't just about paternity anymore. Those same fans who'd been side-eyeing King for years started bringing up old whispers about his sexuality again.
How you gon' like, bro, you going too far, dawg. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his off, bro.
So when his baby mama popped up pregnant, the internet flipped it into a whole new theory. Oh, he's just trying to prove something. Fast forward to this alleged tape surfacing, and those same people came running back with old screenshots and clips saying, "See, this was the plan all along. He used a baby to shut down the talk." It got messy fast because instead of clearing his name, the whole situation just gave trolls fresh ammo to keep dragging him nonstop. But let's be real. This isn't the first time King's been accused of playing a role. For years, critics have said he's been cosplaying the street life he never lived. They say he talks tough, jumps into beefs, and acts like he's cut straight from the trenches. But everyone remembers, he's T.I and Tiny's son. He grew up surrounded by money, privilege, and comfort, spending most of his childhood at his grandma's house, not in the streets. And that contradiction has always haunted his image. Ain't nothing wrong with growing up in comfort, but let's be real. That doesn't exactly scream, I survived the struggle. Every time King hops online talking tough or claiming he's from the trenches, the comment section goes wild. People flood in saying, be serious. They call him out for forcing an image that doesn't match his background. And honestly, it makes his whole act look shaky. It's like King stuck fighting two battles at once, trying to prove he's a grown man and a real father while also convincing the world he's some hardened street figure. But instead of boosting his rep, all that pressure just keeps pushing him further into chaos. His public meltdowns keep piling up, and eventually, it all hit a breaking point. That breaking point came when those infamous Waffle House videos went viral. Cameras caught King in full meltdown mode, yelling and getting aggressive with the employees, all over some food. The internet couldn't believe that T.I and Tiny's son was out here wilding like that in public, especially with all eyes on him. It was embarrassing on every level. Even T.I himself couldn't ignore it. He went live the next day, shaking his head, admitting he couldn't understand why his son would stoop that low to argue with a short-order cook. He said he and King's uncle sat him down, trying to remind him, you live a life most people only dream about. Why throw it away acting like that? But clearly, that talk didn't hit deep enough, because not long after, things went from bad to worse. In 2024, King got pulled over in Georgia after police said he nearly hit a squad car leaving a gas station. When police pulled King over, things went left fast. They said they smelled weed in his BMW, spotted a gun sitting right on his hip, and when they ran his info, boom, a warrant from 2022 popped up. That old case? It was tied to speeding, driving on a suspended license, and even a DUI. He was supposed to show up in court, but never did, which is why that warrant was still hanging over his head like a storm cloud. The arrest video dropped online within hours, showing King cuffed up and being led straight into county jail. He looked calm in the footage, but fans, not even close. Social media exploded, with people saying this was the final sign that King's life was spiraling completely out of control. Then came the wild part. Stacking this arrest on top of the rumored tape, the baby drama, and the gangster image, people started building a whole theory that everything was just a smokescreen for something deeper. The internet swore he was hiding behind the chaos to cover up personal struggles, and the speculation went crazy. And that's when Boosie jumped in, and things got way messier. Instead of clowning King directly, Boosie aimed straight at T.I, dropping slick little shots about his parenting. Fans instantly caught the shade, and the comment section blew up. This wasn't just about King anymore. It was a chance to embarrass T.I in front of the world. Boosie stepping into King's chaos wasn't random. It was strategic. A real chess move rooted in old tension and controversy. See, Boosie's got a long record of bold and often reckless comments, especially when it comes to anything involving sexuality. This is the same man who had to issue a public apology to his own daughter, Iona, after making offensive remarks about her. Boosie knew he messed up. Or at least, that's what he wanted people to think. He went on Instagram saying he was sorry, but everyone could tell that apology was just for damage control. Folks knew deep down he meant every word he said the first time. So when people saw him jumping into King Harris's scandal, the internet wasted no time calling him out as a hypocrite. Comments were ruthless. People saying stuff like, how you clowning another man's kid when you barely got your own house straight? It didn't even feel like Boosie was cracking jokes anymore. It felt like he was taking a personal shot at T.I himself. And here's the twist. Boosie's not exactly in the clear either. He just took a plea deal on some serious gun charges, and depending on how that case shakes out, he could still be facing real time. So fans were asking the obvious question, why is he out here trolling King Harris when he's got his own problems stacking up? Because this wasn't about clout chasing. This was personal. This was about T.I and a feud that's been brewing for years behind the scenes. To really get it, you gotta rewind to where the tension first sparked. It all started when Boosie made those wild comments about Dwayne Wade's daughter after she came out as transgender. His remarks were harsh, and the internet instantly called him out for being transphobic. One of the loudest voices to check him? None other than T.I himself. Not long after that, Boosie came swinging back hard, accusing T.I of being a snitch in his old federal gun case. That hit a nerve fast.
Man, of course I spoke to my son. You know, me and his uncles. You know, we were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. Now, I had to explain to him that, you know, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury.
I clapped right back, saying he wasn't about to let anyone play with his name or disrespect his family. He made it clear he wasn't scared to go head-to-head with Boosie anytime, anywhere. From there, the tension exploded. That same summer, Boosie started criticizing T.I.'s parenting style, especially after Tip admitted he once went with his daughter to the gynecologist, a move that had already sparked huge backlash online. Boosie called T.I controlling, while T.I fired back, saying Boosie was the last person on earth who should be giving parenting advice. At that point, it wasn't playful jabs anymore. The beef turned raw and personal. They started trading shots that cut deep, throwing shade about family values, parenting, and credibility. It stopped sounding like rap banter and started feeling like two grown men airing out real grudges in public. For a moment, it looked like they were ready to squash it. Both of them went online, acting like everything was cool, saying there was no real issue and they were moving on. But by 2023, that fake peace crumbled quick. The beef sparked right back up when Boosie accused T.I of not standing by him during his own legal mess. T.I wasn't having that at all. He told Boosie flat out that he wasn't about to babysit a grown man and definitely wasn't obligated to defend someone who kept disrespecting him. The message was loud and clear. The brotherhood was dead and the gloves were off. That's when everyone realized this wasn't just for attention or views. This was personal. Boosie had a grudge, and every time T.I or his family made headlines, he saw an opportunity to poke at the wound. So when King Harris's scandal broke, Boosie didn't hesitate. The timing was too perfect for him to stir the pot again. Boosie wasn't cracking jokes about King just for laughs. He saw the perfect opportunity to humiliate T.I in front of the world, using King as the punchline. With King already drowning in viral rumors and online chaos, Boosie slid right in like it was the perfect time to twist the knife deeper. That's why the internet instantly caught on. This wasn't really about King. It was straight up shade aimed at Tip. And trust me, the people ate it up. The second Boosie spoke, the floodgates burst wide open. Trolls went wild across social media, and the comments turned vicious. One person even wrote, "He was always weird looking to me. Too bad he took after Tiny and not T.I." That one hit deep because people have been teasing King about his looks since he was a kid. Then it got even uglier. Others started comparing him to Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons, posting side-by-side memes all over X and Instagram. The internet ran with it like wildfire, laughing, reposting, and piling on nonstop. But the comment that really sent everything spiraling was, "King about to be queen." That line didn't just clown him, it reignited every rumor, every whisper, every old conversation about his identity that had been haunting him for years. Suddenly, what started as gossip over a possible leak turned into a full-blown internet storm about who King really is and how he moves. The fire was already raging, but that one comment poured gasoline all over it. And that's what makes this whole situation hit harder. It's bigger than just some supposed take. It shows how no matter what King does, having a baby, acting tough, getting into public drama, people always find a way to twist it into something else. Every move he makes gets flipped, mocked, and analyzed like it's a clue to a bigger secret. The internet stopped treating this like King's personal mess and started framing it as a reflection of T.I.'s entire family. Suddenly, it wasn't just about King's actions. It was about T.I.'s parenting, his public image, and that long, bitter feud between him and Boosie. Think about it. T.I. has spent years defending his name, protecting his brand, and keeping his family image tight under the spotlight. And now, his own son was front and center in a scandal that gave one of his biggest rivals the perfect opportunity to clown him publicly. For Boosie, this was never about King's reputation. It was a power play, a way to score a hit against Tip while the internet did the dirty work. And of course, social media did what it always does best: pour gasoline on the chaos. Old clips started resurfacing, people dug up past interviews, and the whole situation turned into a digital circus. King might have been the face of the drama, but behind the scenes, Boosie and T.I were the real players, turning one young man's struggles into another round of rap politics. And here's where it gets twisted. King looks trapped right in the middle of all this madness. On one side, he's battling online trolls, dealing with non-stop paternity talk, and fighting rumors about his sexuality. On the other, his name's being used like a weapon in a grown man feud between his father and Boosie. Every mistake, every outburst, every rumor gets turned into another headline. And instead of just damaging King's image, it puts even more heat on T.I. For the internet, this wasn't just about King wilding out, it became a test of T.Y.'s fatherhood. People were asking, did T.I fail as a dad? That's what made this whole scandal hit different. It wasn't just embarrassing King, it was designed to humiliate Tip on a deeper level. By the time that alleged tape started making its rounds, King Harris wasn't just another celebrity kid caught in controversy. He had become a walking headline, a symbol of what happens when fame, family, and pride all explode at once. The wildest part about all this is how the internet never forgets. Every old rumor, every reckless moment, every questionable decision, people dragged it all back up to build the image of a kid completely spiraling. But the truth behind it all runs much deeper. This isn't just about bad behavior, it's about image, legacy, and pressure. King's been stuck trying to balance too many roles at once, proving he's a man, a father, and some kind of street figure. But every attempt keeps blowing up in his face. The weight of being T.I and Tiny's son comes with expectations he can't seem to escape. And when the trolls spot even the smallest slip, they don't just laugh, they feast on it like sharks smelling blood. Take the Waffle House fight, for example. That one random video turned into a viral circus overnight. Memes, reaction videos, think pieces. It was everywhere. And instead of people seeing a frustrated young man losing his cool, they twisted it into a full-blown comedy act, calling him out for cosplaying a gangster life he never lived. Then came the arrest footage. Calm or not, being cuffed up with weed smoke in the car and a gun on your hip didn't scream, grown man. It screamed trying too hard. To the internet, it wasn't just a mistake. It was evidence. Proof that King's whole tough guy act was a front. And once people label you as fake, every single thing you do gets magnified 10 times bigger. What makes it worse is how King's own responses seem to backfire every single time. When he went online calling his baby his twin and posting side-by-side pics to shut down the paternity rumors, trolls spun it into proof he was overcompensating. When he bragged about being tough, the internet dragged him for growing up privileged. And when he finally stayed quiet after his arrest, people said the silence meant he was hiding something. No matter what move King makes, it's like the internet already has the next headline loaded up. Every reaction turns into more content, every defense becomes another joke, and every misstep fuels the narrative that he's just pretending to be something he's not. That's the trap every celebrity kid eventually falls into. No matter what they do, it gets mocked, doubted, or twisted into fuel for a story that never dies. But this situation hits harder than most, because the way Boosie flipped King's drama into a weapon against T.I shows just how grimy rap politics can really get. Instead of letting King deal with his own mess, Boosie saw an opening, a perfect moment to reignite his old feud with Tip, and he didn't hesitate to take it. That beef between them has been simmering for years, with both men firing off shots about parenting, street credibility, and who's really solid in the industry. But now, with King caught in the storm, Boosie got himself a fresh stage to perform on, and the internet couldn't help but play along. Every slick jab he made got amplified, dissected, and reposted like wildfire. Not because people genuinely cared about King's situation, but because they loved watching two rap heavyweights subtly go at it all over again. And that's what makes it all so heartbreaking. King's not just fighting trolls anymore. He's stuck in the crossfire of a feud that started way before him. The internet isn't just picking apart his choices or identity. They're using him as the scoreboard to measure whether T.I succeeded or failed as a father. For Tip, that cuts deep, real deep. He built his career around family values, respect, and that family hustle image, only to see his own son become a public punchline. Every headline, every meme, every shady post hits him where it hurts most. His legacy. And that's why Boosie's shade stings so bad. This isn't just about clowning King, it's about undermining everything T.I built over the years. Whether that alleged tape turns out to be real, fake, or some elaborate internet hoax almost doesn't even matter anymore. Because the damage is already done. King Harris has officially become the face of messy celebrity drama, the kind where your personal life gets torn apart, twisted, and used as ammo against the people closest to you. Unless he figures out how to flip this script, every single move he makes will just keep feeding the same vicious cycle. The internet shows no mercy, and when you're born into hip-hop royalty, the standards are twice as harsh and the spotlight never turns off. King wanted the world to see him as grown, independent, and tough, a man standing on his own name. But instead, he's stuck in this never-ending game of judgment, where trolls, bloggers, and even other rappers keep rewriting his story for him. Every post, every live, every headline becomes another chapter he didn't get to control. And with Boosie refusing to let his feud with T.I die down, King's name just keeps getting dragged right back into the mess. It's like his identity, T.I.'s legacy, and Boosie's grudge have all crashed into one big storm that's spinning out of control. And right now, there's no sign of it slowing down. Because when you strip it all down, this isn't just about a rumored tape or a wild headline, it's about power, pride, and image. The internet feeds on scandal like it's oxygen, and King's life has become the perfect buffet for them. At this point, the only real question is, will King completely crash under all this pressure, or finally flip the chaos into control? The world's watching every move he makes, and the trolls, they're already waiting for the next misstep. Every little slip, every post, every rumor will get blasted louder than the last, because that's how the internet works when it smells drama. Right now, the ball's in King's court. He can either step up and take back his story, or let the chaos spiral even further out of his hands. But one thing's for sure, the internet isn't letting go anytime soon. The second he tries to move past it, somebody's gonna drag it right back up for clicks, views, and laughs. And with Boosie and T.I.'s long history still simmering in the background, this saga is far from over. The feud, the family tension, the public scrutiny, it's all still brewing, and the next chapter might just be the wildest yet. So buckle up, because this story is nowhere near done. It's just heating up. If you're locked in with me for this breakdown, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below so we can keep digging into the stories the industry doesn't want you to hear. See you in the next one.